Truly Lex Luthor, Morgan Snicker Room. So much soul about to bust out the room. All different flavors, way more than 32. From these shoes, you can't mess with these dudes. Nike Reeboks, about soccer knees. Go to Deuces on Deuce.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Soul Brothers, hosted by yours truly, Flex Luthor, and none other than Morgan Sneaker Room. Today, guys, we are blessed with a guest, the man with the plan. AngryJoe, what's up? What's new? And how you feeling, my guy?
What's going on, fellas? How are you, man? I'm very, very honored to be doing this.
Good, man. We're definitely happy to have you here.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. Definitely been a long time coming.
Cool, man. I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
well, let's get into it. What was on feet today?
Let's do it. Today we went with the new book one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Morgan, I'm sure you like this one.
Yes, I do.
And it's my very first book one. And I'll tell you, man, this is an absolutely beautiful sneaker. The book one is beautiful. Mm-hmm. And this colorway was definitely a must for me. So there we go. That's what I wore today.
For sure.
I like it.
The book one is, I feel like it's just such a great canvas for like, you know, Devin Booker's creativity. He's done a lot of cool things. I've got the hike pair, and that was definitely a pair that caught my eye. That Forrest Gump Cortez pair.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's beautiful. Really cool shoe. But hey, what size did you get? Did you go up a full size? I know I had to.
I didn't go up a full size. I got an 11, and that's like the top range of what I usually get. And it is a little bit snug, but it's fine. It's like if I were to play basketball in them, that's not happening. But if I were to play basketball in them, I feel like that would be the perfect size because it's more like it's more snug. I feel like it's hugging my foot more. But as far as comfort goes, I'm not so sure.
Right. Yeah.
Flex, what'd you wear today?
I pulled out my Marinaries, the recent release. I pulled these out today. Yeah, man, these are pretty nice. I know a lot of people have a lot of issues with the comfort level. Definitely for the ones with the quilted insole and stuff.
I like it though. I thought they felt good.
Yeah, it feels smooth on the socks. You know. No traction or anything like that. But yeah, this is the pair I pulled out today. Yeah. First time wearing them. I'm not upset. Definitely an underrated pair, but you know, they'll understand that later on down the line.
Yeah, I agree.
Later on down the line, they'll be like, when did those release? I don't remember those. You know.
Yeah. I wore, interestingly enough, we just had 80 Sneaks on and he talked about this shoe. This is the Packer and Adidas Intimidator Low. I think that this is really, really interesting. I actually wore these while I was on court teaching today, and one of the other coaches commented on them, and he was like, yo, those are like something. And of course, they got me into talking about how, like, since Adidas has severed ties with Kanye West, they've had to kind of get a little bit more creative and, you know, go back into their archives a little bit more. And I think this is a great sneaker from Adidas and Packer shoes.
I like it. I don't like the shoe, but I mean, I kind of like the concept behind it.
Yeah. And I know
I'm not a big fan of Adidas.
AngryJoe, you're not an Adidas fan, are you either?
I am. Yeah, no, I have a lot of Adidas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I have old school stuff. I'm an old school Adidas guy for sure. I love Adidas, man.
That's right. For some reason, I was thinking that you were just a Nike guy, but then I remembered like Paul Stanley Pumas.
Yeah.
I'm tripping, man. I'm tripping.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I show more Nikes than anything else because that's the stuff that's most, you know, hyped and what people want to see and what they're interested in. But no, man, my favorite sneakers of all time actually aren't even Nike. It is Adidas and Puma.
Yeah. We have definitely bonded over the Paul Stanley Pumas. Because it feels like we're the only two people. Me and you are the only two people. And I saw Jack Black actually has the pair too. But we're the only
don't tell me that. But
but we're like, it feels like we're the only two people who have that sneaker, and we've like shown it off. Maybe Paul Stanley has a pair. And,
sure he does.
Yeah. Gene
but
Simmons.
I'll tell you, when I did, no, definitely not him. I can't stand that guy. But and actually, Paul Stanley, right behind me, right here, is a. You know, I'm a huge Kiss fan, And this right here is a Paul Stanley signature PS 7000.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I'm a huge Kiss fan and a Puma fan, and when I saw those sneakers, I tripled up on those Puma suedes.
Yeah.
I had to do that, and I still have all 3 pair. And when I
That's
showed
awesome.
that pair to people, they love it. They want to know where I got it, and it's a beautiful sneaker. And if you can find it, you can get it for next to nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about the sneaker. It's a beautiful sneaker. It's a great sneaker, and you can actually get it for next to nothing because nobody cares.
Yeah. And those are the types of sneakers I love. The ones that nobody care about. But whenever you wear them, like, then people start caring.
Yeah. I get compliments on all the time when I wear those. People they stare at your feet and they're looking like, what the heck is that guy wearing?
Yeah. So
I gotta look these up because I haven't seen them before.
you would have seen them. I think you've definitely seen them before.
I've seen them, but just never knows. Okay,
Look
it's the zebra print.
Yep,
Yes,
zebra. Yep,
that's it. With the greatest triple color combination history.
Yep.
I like them. They're all right. I don't know if I ever buy them.
Yes, he
doesn't. Once he sees the price, he'll buy them. Because I'm not a big Kiss fan. I'm a big music fan. But I would say I'm as much of a fan as Travis Scott as I am with Kiss, which I'm not really much of a fan of either one. But I've got Travis Scott Jordans and I've got the Paul Stanley Puma suedes. So I like music, but it's more of the design for me that does it.
Somebody must have wore them recently because they kind of shot up in price.
How much?
A size 10 on StockX is $611.
Oh yeah, that's not no.
No, trying to get their money back.
You see Angry Joe's face, man. He got angry.
No, I'm not seeing that. And even if that was the case, I would never sell mine.
No.
Never.
No
way.
So, Joe, man, it is a pleasure to have you on here.
Absolutely.
I feel like the first thing we have to kind of get out there is.
I hope we on the same page.
Space Jam?
Go ahead.
The Space Jam story?
No, Concord. Yes.
Concord story.
It's got to be told.
It's got to be told that fateful day in Orlando back in 1996. 1995. That
it's
fateful
right there
day in Orlando.
there, both these shirts. 95.
Yeah.
So
sorry, you ain't got one.
It's all right.
I can make that happen.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You gotta. I was gonna bring up how you're both wearing the same shirt, but maybe it's a coincidence or something. So you got to tell us the story, man. You got to tell us the story.
Okay, well, it's a very quick story. I mean, I can just rattle off the story, or I'll give you the whole thing. So
give us the whole thing,
Jordan,
man.
Okay, Jordan came back to play in '95, and a buddy of mine, Todd, he came up to me and he goes, "Hey Joe, Jordan's playing again. They're going to be playing the Magic in the playoffs. I think we should go up there and try to get some tickets, man, and go watch him play again." I'm like, "That's a great idea. Let's do that." Orlando's just a couple hours away from me. So we did it. We went up there and we went outside the arena. It was a sold out game, of course. And we're walking around, trying to find tickets. People had them, but they wanted a little bit more money than we wanted to pay. And back then, the little bit more money I'm talking about is like $150 per ticket, but in today's day and age, if that was to happen, that would be $1,000 ticket all day long.
Yeah.
And that's for upper bowl, nosebleeds. And anyway, so we ran into some guy. He came up to us. He goes, "You guys looking for 2 tickets?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I work for the Magic and, I can't." I go, "Well, what do you want for him?" He goes, "Well, I can't sell them to you for overprice. But I'll sell them to you." But the thing about this is, and I forgot kind of about this whole ticket thing because I tried looking for the stub and then I called Todd and I go, "Hey man," I go, "Do you have your ticket stub?" And he goes, "No, Joe." He goes, "Don't you remember when we bought those tickets, that guy walked us up to the arena and we had to give them back to him?" And I said, "Vaguely, I don't remember that." He goes, "Yeah, that's exactly what happened." And I do remember the guy walking up there with us. So that's what happened. That's why him and I don't have that ticket stub. And, And so we ended up going to the game. And then and there were $90, by the way, $90 lower bowl seats in the corner, kind of on the side, about 15 rows up.
Wow.
And, we're sitting there before the game, that the teams weren't out there or anything. And then they came, out for shoot around, and I saw those shoes on his feet. And I wish my buddy was here right now. I lost my mind, absolutely lost my mind. I ran down courtside and just started popping off pictures. And just so happened that him and I were at that game when he debuted those shoes, man. It was just I never knew that it was going to be such a historic event and such a great game that it was. And it was also the last day he wore number 45. So that was cool as well. And it just, look, we got lucky to see somewhat a little game in history, because it made the Last Dance and everything. And as you guys may know, there is a content creator out there that spent over an hour watching that game and then found me in the crowd. And I couldn't believe that he did that. So,
I did see that.
That's better than having the frickin', it's better than having that, ticket stub. I wish I did have it, because I collect ticket stubs. I have concert stubs from when I was a 14-year-old kid, my very first concert I ever been to. So, but not to have that one kind of sucks, but I do have that video showing me right there in the crowd. So,
yeah. That is
awesome. It was really, really cool, man. And again, like I've said before, you guys have heard me say this, and I honestly believe this. The sneaker game as we know it, I do not think would exist without that Concord 11 and Michael Jordan as a whole. I honestly feel that it would not be what it is today.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because we often, though we dig into a lot of other brands, we always admit that Jordan and Nike are the blueprint. That is the blueprint. That's where pretty much where everyone starts it. Like,
that's where I started. Even though I'm into all those different brands, I started with Jordan, and it started with my love of basketball and Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and then Jordan, Jumpman, they're doing the rollout for the Band Ones. They pretty much said that same thing in their new ad that they dropped today. If they would have banned the Air Jordan 1, then nothing else would have happened. Travis Scott would be La Flame, and it was a cool ad. And it's just kind of like full circle, because now you're saying it because you were there to see the Concord 11s, and I've always thought that one of it was kind of hard for me to wrap my head around it, because I'm just like, I know how big the Concorde is to me, and I didn't see it I didn't pretty much see it when it got first released. So I'm just like, to be there when it's debuted before anybody else seen it, that's crazy. Still
dude, I lost my mind, man. That thing was so bizarre to see, because it was so different than anything else out there. And just to see that glistening black, and I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And still had no idea, because I didn't know when it was coming out. I didn't know if it was a one-off. I didn't know anything. I had no idea what the hell it was. And then, but I'll tell you another thing with this Concorde. I love that sneaker. And again, it's iconic. It got us to where we are, I think. But in another sense, I hate that sneaker, because it got me out of the game in 2001 with that first retro release. It really did. And that is when, as far as I see, as a guy collecting before and after, it just got the shoe game to where it is. That right after that sneaker, they started retroing more sneakers, more Jordans, more colorways, and then all of a sudden, more people started showing up. More people wanted sneakers. Lines started forming, and then all that happened, and I got out of it. I couldn't. That first retro release of that 2001, I was the first one at Finish Line in the mall, waiting for that sneaker. Next thing I know, there's 100+ people behind me, and it was absolute chaos, and I never got the sneaker. And I said to myself, this is not what I love about sneakers. I'm out of here. And I left. Yeah. I got out of it.
You were the first one there?
First one there. First one there.
How weren't you able to get the sneaker? You were the first one there.
When they opened up the gate to that store, it was absolute pandemonium. Everybody rushed in. There were people literally running in the back room looking for those shoes.
That's crazy.
And I couldn't believe it. I was just, I'm looking around like, what the frick is going on here? And it's something I had
yeah.
never seen before in my life.
I can see that turning anybody off. Because
Yeah.
you're right,
It
like
did.
that's not what this is about. You know what I
No,
mean?
no,
And I can think about one of my first camp out experiences. This was in 2012 for the Olympic sevens, and I can tell you, that was back then was when it was my collection was kind of on the border of like just having a lot of sneakers and like being a full blown like this is what I'm gonna do. And I can tell you, like, if I would have had that experience, I could see that, completely turning me off to sneakers. And so yeah, so '01 is you got out of it, right?
yeah.
When did you come back in?
Probably about 15, right around there, 15, 16, somewhere around there.
What'd you do for that 14 years?
I would still buy sneakers here and there. I mean, I was still buying sneakers. Of course, you had to have sneakers to wear, but I wasn't accumulating them. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
I had, probably 10, 15 pair, but, I wasn't heavy into it because it annoyed me. And I also didn't know. I went to a site. I used to go to a site all the time called 23 is Back. The number 23 is Back.
Yep.
It's an old school site. I still go there. I like it a lot. I'd see shoes coming out and I'd be like, where the hell do you get these things? I'm like, that colorway is kind of cool, but the Champagne 6, the Cigar 6s, I like those, man, but where do you get them? I had no idea where to get them. Nothing like that. So I was completely oblivious to all that. I had no idea where to get these sneakers, and I wasn't speaking to anybody. I didn't know anybody in the community, nothing like that. I was not on any kind of social media back then. What was it? Maybe MySpace or something. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess here.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not on any of that. And, and that's it, man. And let me go back real quick, if you don't mind, going back to that Olympic 7. And here's the thing. You camped out for that. I remember the Olympic 7. I just walked right into a Champ Sports in Countryside Mall. And, back then here, and I'm dating myself here, and please excuse me for this. Back then there was no internet. There was nothing. The only way I knew these sneakers were coming out was if I asked the people at these shoe stores to see their seasonal catalog, or maybe you saw it in Slam magazine or something like that. But what I would do personally is ask these guys at the store, can I see your seasonal catalog? And that's how I knew when they were coming out. But those Olympic 7s, I was just right into Champs. It was no specific time or day or anything, and they were there, and I just got them and left.
This was the original release in '92. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, man.
So you're saying you're dating yourself? That's the year I was born.
Okay. Yeah. See, there you go. There you go. Hi, son.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Flex.
Would you say that the cigar and champagne pack is what got you back, like brought you back into collecting sneakers in 20 years?
I was just giving you an example of things that I would see, and like the off-white Chicagos, I'm like, well, that's kind of cool, but it looks like a mock-up. I didn't know I didn't know what off-white was. I'm like, it's kind of neat, and it's a little bizarre. I go, it's not the original. I need the original, but it's kind of cool. But I had no idea where to get it. I had no clue. I was so clueless.
A lot of people like to delete that from their memory, because I remember vividly when we first seen the off-white mock-ups, people were, what is this? Where's the rest of the shoe? These are so ugly. What's going on? Like, what do you think you're doing? And now it is legendary. Like it is.
Oh, it's a piece of art.
Art. This is why we have collabs. This is why we have this.
Put it in a museum.
Yeah.
It was weird to me. I'm an original guy. I'm an old school guy. I like the originals. I will take the original colorway of the Chicago one over that off-white any day of the week. If somebody were to say, Joe, here, you can have either one of these, you can't sell them, you have to wear them, I'm taking that original Chicago one over the off-white. I mean, even though it's kind of neat, I still don't get off-white myself. I'm not really a fan of off-white. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, there are a couple that I think are nice, but for the most part, it's just the old school in me that I don't get it, you know? And I'm sorry for that. Anybody that sees that and I'm pissing off, I'm sorry.
I'm not. No, Joe. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, if somebody came up to me and they said you can have one or the other for the rest of your, like, you can't own the other one and you have to wear it, I think I would take the original as well. Sure. I'd love to have the off-white Chicago ones. I wouldn't love to pay the price, but I would, it's a sneaker I'd love to have, but if I had to make a choice between one or the other, I would pick the original. And I don't think it would be, I don't think I would hesitate.
Yeah, man. And the reason for me is, I mean, the man himself wore that sneaker. I mean, come on, man. It's Michael Jordan. You can't get any better than that. That's just me, though. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I agree. I agree with that too. Just simply because it's kind of refreshing. Because, like I said, a lot of people just forget, what was said before Off-White, took its run and became what it became, and it was the Chicago one. Chicago one would have been over. They were like, why did they release these? Why didn't they release the original Chicago ones? Why didn't they give us a spec, OG spec? This is before it became the Off-White.
Right.
Then after that, it was just like, oh nah, no, I like new and different, and originals getting played out and. Like I said, but I mean, since we're talking dates, Joe, how long have you been collecting? We're not even gonna count the break, but how long have you loved sneakers? Let's go there.
Okay,
I like that.
Because when people talk about this, I'm glad you brought it up. I kind of like to break this down a little bit. If you want to say collecting, now collecting to me, and this is just me speaking, I consider myself a collector when I was buying my own sneakers and accumulating my own sneakers, and that is in 1991. But I've had the love for sneakers when I started looking at people's feet before their face. I was 14 years old, and it was with the Adidas Stan Smith, the original colorway of the all white and green. And I'm going to tell you something right now. It is still, to me, the Stan Smith is probably one of the greatest sneakers ever created in footwear history. That's just me personally speaking.
That's something we've talked about, is that I think we have both agreed on your live that the Stan Smith is a perfect sneaker. It is the quintessential sneaker. It's clean, not a whole lot going on. It has the branding with the Stan Smith face on the tongue. And then, of course, the 3 stripes perforated on the side. I think it's a perfect sneaker.
It is. And it's just so iconic. It's been around since the 70s, and they're still making them. So, I mean, there's a reason for that. They're not still making them and selling them because they're crap.
Right. And you can do so much with it. Like, Adidas has done so much with that sneaker. They've made a Kermit the Frog Stan Smith. I've got the Homer Simpson pair. I keep forgetting I've got the they have the Stan Smith from like American Dad on the tongue. It is the Adidas sneaker. I mean, you can argue shell toe, and I think that's a valid argument, but to me, especially being a tennis coach, like doing it professionally, the Stan Smith is the Adidas sneaker.
Yep. And then right after that, for me anyways, Rod Laver. I love that sneaker as well. A lot of people have no idea what that is. You know what it is because you're a tennis player. So I've always loved the Rod Laver. I wish they'd do the original, but I got the last release of the Rod Laver, which is all leather. It's not that, I guess, a canvas type of material.
Yeah. I got recently, Kith did a I shouldn't even say recently, like within the last year or two, they did a collection, and one of them that they put out was the Edberg. You remember the Stefan Edberg?
Yeah.
They put out that one as well, and that's a good one to have. Just being a tennis coach,
Yeah,
I like having those. I still need the Michael Changs, of course. That's a Reebok, but
dude, for you being a tennis player, there's so many nice tennis shoes that a lot of people do not know about.
Yeah.
And I mean, me personally, some of my favorites are tennis shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, I know that a lot of that comes from like the popularity of tennis came from like summer programs. All the kids would get to play tennis a little bit, right? So yeah, I think there's just a lot of those different tennis sneakers that I think go slept on. Rod Lavers, like I said, the Edbergs. I see them behind you. You got the Mac Attacks. We got like 3 or 4 Mac Attacks behind you.
I have like 6 pair of them. I love the sneakers, man. And nobody cares about them unless you throw a backward swoosh on them. It drives me insane.
I got both. I got the original, and I've got the Travis Scotts.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one tennis shoe that I really like that a lot of you'll probably, Morgan, you know what it is. The Air Flare, Nike Air Flare.
Yeah.
I love that freaking sneaker. If you've seen my video of 95 of the pictures that I have, you'll see the Air Flare. There's 2 pairs sitting there, 2 different colorway. Yep. I love that freaking sneaker. I would love to have that back. And I know they retroed it. I don't know how long. It was quite a while ago, but I know they retroed it. I didn't get it then. I just had the originals. But that is a fantastic sneaker.
Yeah, and while we're talking about tennis sneakers, the one that I've brought up a lot is the Nike Air Oscillate. You remember that sneaker?
I would have to see it. No, I'm not. The name doesn't ring a bell.
Pete Sampras. That was Pete Sampras's shoe.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of low top, not really flashy, but I think it's a cool looking sneaker.
Okay. I guarantee if I saw it, I would know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, for sure. Flex, what's your favorite tennis sneaker?
For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. For me, my family, like the older people in my family, called every shoe a tennis shoe. Like so,
I
didn't know there was actually a difference until I got older. I'm like, oh, this is an actual tennis shoe.
It's completely understandable.
Yeah. So every shoe, Jordan, it was like, hey, go get your tennis shoe, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same here. So now I have to differentiate it between, like when I talk about my actual shoes for tennis, I say court shoes. Right. Okay. So, because I've always called them tennis shoes too, but now growing up as a kid, so now the tennis shoes are the court shoes, and then everything else is sneakers.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Yeah, it was that way for me too. When I was growing up, it was tennis shoes. I mean, that's what there were dress shoes, there were tennis shoes, you had slippers. I mean, it was just as a whole, that's what they were called.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Joe, you say you started collecting in 91 and we're in 2025. What would you say is the biggest difference from 1991 and 2025?
The community. There was no community there, but you also gotta, like I said, you have to realize there was no social media. I mean, you guys know this. Without social media, we're not sitting here. I'm not talking to you guys. I don't know who you guys are.
Right.
And in the 90s, that's the way it was. I was ridiculed for collecting these sneakers and having so many. And I'm not saying I'm the only guy out there. You're never the only guy out there doing one thing. But I can promise you, I knew nobody that was doing it the way I was doing it at the magnitude that I was doing it at. Had there been social media, that would have been a little different, but that's what I'm seeing. The main thing is the social media and the community, which I love more than anything. The sneakers absolutely drive me up a wall, but what we're doing here is what I love.
And I think, you put this comment on one of my videos, but it seems like the sneaker community has this isn't exactly what you said, but the sneaker community has kind of flocked to you like, you know what I mean? Like nothing else I've ever seen. You said it's been easy for you to grow your account. And I would say and maybe I'm wrong, maybe my algorithm is jacked up, but what I see mostly from you is the lives. And then after that is your videos where you're live. Sometimes you just get done with the bike, like a bike ride. But a lot of times you're just sitting right where you're at now. You've got a little sign behind you that says everything's real, nothing, nothing's for sale. And you just chop it up with people. Yeah. And is that mostly just what you do? And then the followers keep pouring in?
I honestly don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is and why it is. It just happened. I do videos, but I only do videos on stuff that I actually own. Yeah. When I get a new sneaker, and not all new sneakers, it's only stuff that I think people want to see and that people are talking about, because I've gotten other shoes. I probably have some. Actually, I'm in another room, by the way. Now, this is the first time I've ever done anything in the other room where my sneakers are. So this is a different room. There's three of them, and this is a different one. Yeah. But I don't know what it is. I wish I knew. Like you guys know, I've said it a million times. I started the account out as a joke, TikTok, and that's the only social media I do up until now. I do an Instagram now, and I have a YouTube, but I don't do a whole lot with it. But it was TikTok that I did. I don't do Facebook. I don't do anything else. And it just I started it out as a joke, being that I was in sneakers for a long time, and I wanted to come on. My intention was to come on here. I was acting very arrogant, kind of being a tool, if you will, just trying to get under people's skin. And it didn't work out that way for me. It it went the other way, and people were asking legitimate questions, and I'm like, wait a minute, man, this is not going the way I thought it was going to go. And because I honestly thought I'd just get kicked off the app or just leave and laugh at everybody and just go away, and that didn't happen. And then I think it's more out of people have started following me and everything, I believe, out of respect. That's what that's what I believe. I'm 58 years old. I have on TikTok, I just reached 140,000 followers, as a content creator, if you will, or influencer, if you will. I don't consider myself either. I just consider myself a guy that talks about his sneakers, man. That's it. It's not a huge number as far as content creator and influencer or whatever you want to call it, but for a 58-year-old guy in a younger man's game, you guys are what, in your 30s, early 30s, right?
I'm in my 30s, yeah.
Okay,
like,
there you go.
In your 30s yet?
All right, there you go. And that's what I mean. I think it's a big number, and I think it's more out of respect that people follow me. And also, I was with, let me tell you this real quick, and I had no idea about this. So I was in New York. I went to SneakerCon. They flew me out there, and I was with DNA Show. Him and I hung out for 3 days, me, him, and his father and mother. And we were Ubering over to, we were going to dinner. And he's like, Joe, what's your, he's like, what is your, what's it called? He goes, he was trying to, what's it called?
Your prices?
No prices. Man, this is what happens when you get hit by a car. The age group, what is that called?
Demographic.
Demographic. Thank you. Yeah. Demographic. He's like, Joe, what's your demographic on TikTok in, 18 to 24? And we started going through that, and my demographic is mainly like 30 to 50, and his was more so geared 18 to 24. I had no idea any of that existed, and we were going over that because he's trying to figure it out too, So that's it. I think it's just more out of respect, and I think a lot of the people that follow me are kind of the older guys, guys, girls. You know what I mean? But and sorry for being so long-winded on that.
No, for sure. Like, and I see that you will have younger people, like younger than me and Flex, in your lives, and you treat everybody as like kind of the same, you treat everybody like everybody's welcome, unless they're there to troll, which I can say, man, it doesn't seem like you have a whole lot of trolls either.
But I love it. I have fun with them, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like, and when I first saw your videos and I saw the name AngryJoe, what I was expecting was you kind of being like you said, being a jerk and, you know, this shoe is stupid and this is why you shouldn't have it and all this other stuff. And that's not what you did at all. It was like, this is what I got. Gomez is the one who got it for me. And I ended up getting 2 pairs. I'm going to return 1 pair. And, you know, just like, this is straightforward.
And you know what? That's another thing I think that works for me because if I'm at a sneaker event or so, I mean, and I'm not, guys, please, I'm not trying to say anything here, but I've had people come up to me in malls and stuff like that. And they do, and that's kind of weird to me. That was the weirdest thing to me when somebody first came up to me and said they saw my videos. But anyway, the people that do come up to me are usually older people, and they're like, you know what, I love your videos. I love how you're, you know, no BS and straightforward, and you know, just, you know, give your opinion and that's it, and don't really care about anything else. And that's a huge compliment to me, man. And I'm glad you said that, Morgan, about I always, whether it's on lives or whatever, just in life in general, I don't care who you are. I try to treat everybody with respect. I really do, unless you're just one of those naturally born idiots, and then I just stay away from you at that point.
You know what I mean?
You've you know, I know that I've gotten into, you know, I like being I'm not gonna say I like being controversial because I don't, but I have a very, like, who I am on the internet is who I am in real life, right? I am very opinionated, and I can rub people the wrong way. And there have been times on TikTok where I've rubbed people the wrong way, and you have stayed out of anything like that. Like, you stay very much like, this is my little corner. Everybody's welcome. You know, this is my opinion. And I got a lot of respect for that. Because I know it can be difficult because, like, social media seems so, it feels very big, but at the same time it feels very small, especially sneaker TikTok. And it's easy to get wrapped up in stuff. And being one of the bigger creators, I know you don't like to call yourself that, you know, you don't act like, what we hear is like the mayor of sneakers. You don't act like the mayor of sneakers on TikTok. You're just doing your thing. And I've got a lot of respect for that.
No, man. I like I said, I'm like with you guys right here. I'm honored to be here, man. I mean, this is, and I mean it. It's freaking huge to me. This is so cool, man, and I appreciate it. And like you're saying, Morgan, with the, you know, I know that you had a little run-in with somebody here. You know, we won't. And actually, Flex, before he got on, remember I said I had a question for him.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So this is what it is, and this is what I'm going to say to you, because you're right. I have no problem with you. I have no problem with him. I can separate that. Just because you guys may not see eye to eye doesn't mean you and I can't. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would hope that you would respect, you know, where I'm coming from with him and him with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, we can all get along, but if you guys don't, then that's between you guys. I'm out of that. That has nothing to do with me.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And my question to you is, and I mean this, man, what went south, man? If you want to talk about it, and Morgan, if you don't, I respect that, man. It's cool. If you want to have a conversation, just you and I, we can do that too, man. I'm just kind of, I am really, you know, I'm wondering what happened. I didn't ask him.
So this is just from my perspective. What went south was, my big feeling is that if you talk trash, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a trash talker. If you can dish it out, you have to be able to take it. That is like a big core fundamental, you know.
I'm a firm believer of that too.
And I feel like he dishes out a lot of, you know, he dishes it out. And I like that. I was all for that. You know, he would dish it out to me. And I like that. But when you victimize yourself, when people respond, I don't have a whole lot of respect for that. And that's kind of where it started going south. And then I felt like he was kind of blowing up a lot of the things I said or mischaracterizing what I was saying. For example, when he said that he was going to get off of TikTok, and I made a joke. I didn't know why, but he said that he was.
That is when I saw. I thought it was a joke at first. I'm like, man, this is kind of funny. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I saw a couple more videos. I'm like, this is serious, man. What's happening here?
Yeah. So like TikTok doesn't give you things linearly, right? Or chronologically. And so all I saw was he said he was getting off. And at the time, he had been coming at me, just, cracking jokes or whatever. And so my response was like, oh, thank goodness, like, I'm safe. He's not going to be talking, he's not going to be cracking jokes. And what he turned that into was I was making fun of his mental health because I guess he had made another video about his mental health, and the one that I didn't see. And so he has my phone number. And if it was something that really bothered him, I felt like he should have reached out to me and
personally,
right, instead of making a video. And then in the comments, even after he made the video, we chopped it up, we texted each other, and I let him know, like, that's not what I meant. But in the comments, he was still kind of fanning the flames of like F Morgan and all this other stuff. And then and he's done that quite a few times. He's done that quite a few times. And so that has been my issue. I'm not going to pretend that like I don't have an issue with him, but I just think that, and I think me and Flex get we get blamed for like we do things for likes, and specifically what he's doing is getting things for likes. So I feel like if he had a real issue with me, he should shoot me a text instead of putting it on social media if it was a real thing. So that's essentially where I'm coming from with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. It was weird to me at first. I thought you guys were just throwing jabs at each other, having fun.
We were.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, man, this is kind of getting out of control.
Yeah. Well, it was really when I started reading the comments and seeing people like they weren't taking it as a joke anymore, and then he was also like kind of egging them on, and I was like, all right, like this isn't what I thought it was.
Right.
But I'm sure that he has issues with me too. So that's just one side. I'm sure he has a side. I'm sure he has a side too.
I think what I did when I found out that it was serious, and I didn't ask him, where it all started, but I'm like, hey man, are you guys, really, going at each other or something? And then he said, yeah. I'm like, damn, man. Okay. And I really didn't get into depth with it. I have his number as well. We were just, texting each other back and forth.
Yeah.
And I just don't like to see it myself. I really don't. I don't think there's any need for it. On either end. That's just me. And that's why I try to stay out of stuff like that, man. There's just no need for it, man.
Yeah. I think what I'm trying to do now is just completely avoid it. That's not how I was handling it at first.
Right.
But I'm getting older, and it's like, is it that big of a deal? And I'm stepping away from.
Not.
It's not. So it's it a big deal? It's not that
serious, man.
It's not that serious. And when I was making more TikToks and like being more active on there, maybe it felt like a bigger deal because I was on the app more and making content there more. But now that I'm not really making content that much outside of, helping with this podcast. It feels less of a big deal. I've got other things going on in my life. So that's that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just had to know, man. I had to ask that question.
For sure.
And okay,
I figured it would come up. I figured it would come up.
No, I was just, and I had to ask it because I don't know. So that's why I did it. And I am the type of guy, my wife tells me to shut the hell up, but if I want to know something, I'm going to ask a question. That's just who I am.
I'm with it.
But like I said, I have no problem with either one of you guys, man. No problem with either one.
I don't think you should. I'm not, I didn't ask Flex to have an issue with him because I did, right? Like,
yeah.
I understand.
Well,
Flex, you got anything to say?
Yeah, go ahead, Flex. What do you got,
Flex,
man?
what you got to say?
I spoke my piece. I don't know if you caught the butt end of it, Joe, but me and him had our own little run in, and that's where I ain't gonna say I pick sides.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't pick sides.
That I did not know.
Yeah, I mean, it's over with now because, like I said, like once I spoke on it that one time, I'm that type of person. I speak on it one time, and that's gonna be the end of it.
Right, gotcha.
Because I don't do the back and forth. I don't do the whole social media. I'm gonna call you out. You call me out. Like that's not me. Because as Morgan's rule, I'm not gonna say I can't take it, but it's just the fact that I'm gonna take it to another level, and I feel like he's gonna take it to another level, and it's just like you don't want two people like that going at each other. So that's why I'm like, let's just cut it off here, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then we end it there. But But it is what it is, Again, we're all adults and we should act like it. That's how I feel.
Yeah. All right.
But Joe, I will say what drew me towards you, where you seem genuine and authentic. When I seen your pictures of your shoes lined up in your closet, that was very nostalgic for me, because I remember growing up and my brother had his shoes lined up, and there wasn't no like setup and shelves and boxes. It was kind of like I got a few boxes here, but here go my rotation for the week and my next rotation. It was just all lined up, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. That right there is that's what got me into it. Setups that look like that and not setups that look like these, and
like
that's what
orchestrated, like produced,
That let me know that you was doing it without the camera. You were doing it because you loved it, and
and that's the way it still is. Just look behind me. I don't. I get these case companies, these shoebox companies get a hold of me, and I chuck them all to the weeds because I don't use them, and I'm not going to bring them in and talk about how great they are if I don't use them. And I mean, I have a lot of people try to contact me, and I'm one of those people. If I don't use it, I'm not going to promote it. And I'm just an old school guy, man. This is what I like. This is it. I don't want to put it on display. I don't want anybody coming over and looking at my stuff. I know what I got. I don't care what anybody else knows. And, you know what I mean? That's just me, though, man. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. So if you have visitors, you don't show them the sneaker room.
No, man.
I feel that, man.
Listen, I mean this. My cousin came over. This is my cousin. This is my blood. She came over and she's like, all right, Joe, I want to see your sneakers. And I go, don't worry about it. I go, it doesn't matter. She goes, where are they all? I go, it does not matter. I go, whatever you do, don't go in that room. And then, of course, I was at work and she went in and saw what I had and was like, holy shit. She's like, Joe, this is freaking out of control. And then she saw the Lego too. That's another thing, man. The Lego's worse than the sneakers, guys.
Man.
I love that. So we do at tennis, we'll do trivia for like, okay, which player is going to be the champion first, if we're doing a game. And one of the trivia questions I love is, one, what country was I born in? That's England. And number two is like, how many pairs of sneakers do I have? And if they could say anywhere around like 750, I'm like, all right, bet you got it. And the next question is, where do you store them all? And to me, that's like instantly like, who are you? Like, are you the police? Like, who are you sent by? And so I feel bad, but I always get a little snippy. I'm like, in my house, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm the same way. Like, I did it one time. I had somebody coming over who was going to buy a pair of shoes, and I don't sell sneakers a lot. And he was going to buy a couple pairs of shoes because I was going to buy the Sean Weatherspoon 97 ones. So I showed him the sneaker room, and afterwards I was just like, I didn't like that. Like, I don't like. Yeah, right. Exactly. Like, this is you seeing my, not craziness, but my obsession, I think that's the best way to say it, Flex. Like, I was vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, you know how where all my sneakers are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanted to rob me, you got a quick layout of the house. So.
I know what room to run to.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and here's the thing, dude. You can't. Well, but here's the thing for you and I, Morgan. Yeah, you want to come in and rob us? You better have a big truck and a few people with you, and it's going to take you so long. And if somebody does that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to help them. I'm going to make it very easy for them. They'll be doing me a favor at that point.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
You know, when I'm on a live, people will ask me, they want a room tour or can we see the room? And I'm like, and I mean this, I'm like, no. And the reason why I say no is because it's an embarrassment. Look, I love my sneakers, but it's out of control. I mean, I have a problem. It's not. And I mean this, man. I mean this wholeheartedly, that I got an issue. It's a big problem, and I've tried and sell them off, but once I start, it becomes extremely overwhelming to me, and I stop. And I tell people that, you know, you got 30, 40 pair, you're good. Anything after that, you got a problem. It becomes an issue.
Yeah. Oh, the way I have kind of gotten over that is like, I like the style of the sneakers, and it's like, I don't want to say it's like collecting art, because it's not like collecting art, but it is, we are collecting something that makes us happy, and I can live with that. Now, when I was just buying sneakers because I had a few dollars in my pocket, I was at that point at one point, maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago. I had a few dollars in my pocket. Boom, let me go ahead and see what eBay has. I had to get away from that. And a lot of that came from like being medicated. That helped out a lot.
Right.
But like now it's like, okay, this is a sneaker that I want. I don't find myself scrolling on eBay mindlessly like, oh, look at those. Like, dang, I could get those for just this, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how I've been able to kind of justify it, and I feel better about myself now. Doesn't mean I don't have a problem, no, but I feel better about myself justifying it as this is something that makes me happy. It's for the most part, it's under control. I'm not just buying things to buy them. I actually like them before I buy them. I don't buy them and then start to like them after the fact.
Right.
But yeah, it's just, I'm collecting something that makes me happy. So that's kind of how I justify it.
For me, you say they're not art. Now, when I look at a sneaker, I think I look at sneakers a lot different than most people. To me, it is a form of art in my eyes. I'm looking at that sneaker behind you right now. That is amazing to me. The way it is shaped, I don't care about the value. I don't know what it is, but just by looking at it and the design and the patterns and the colors, to me, that's art. That is
We're going to talk about
beautiful freaking sneaker, man.
Yeah,
don't worry. That's my showcase sneaker. We're going to talk about it.
That's a nice one, man. I like it a lot.
You said you don't know what they are?
Have no idea.
I can't wait to tell you. Have
no
wait to tell you.
All I know is I see some silver, and it looks like it may be a green sole or something like that, and a black sock liner. Is it green?
No, it's gray. Oh, the green is this light behind me.
Okay, because it's kind of
the green is
a little green, but it's silver, right? With black.
Yes, it is silver. It is silver. I will. Yes, I can't wait to tell you about these.
Is that an Adidas?
It is an Adidas.
Okay, yeah. And see, okay,
and you can still get them. You can still get them.
Really?
Yes.
Thanks a lot. I can't wait. Thanks for spending my money, bro.
No problem. I am now I'm excited. I'm excited to get to the showcase. Flex, what else do you have for AngryJoe, man? Because now I'm hyped up.
I see you're excited, but just to speak on how I feel about my collection, I wouldn't say I'm ashamed. I think I was more ashamed when I was doing this and I didn't have a car, I didn't have a mortgage, I didn't have kids. You know, it's a little different when you're doing it like that because it feels like your priorities are not straight. But now that I have all those things and, you know, bills are being taken care of, I have health insurance, I have 401k, I have savings, stuff like that. It's different. You know, I can do it pridefully and properly. because every shoe is hard work. I know it's not work, and I know Morgan's smiling. He's like, I'm going to correct him, and and every shoe to me is just hard work. So when I go up my sneaker room, I still admire it because I look around and I'm just like, yeah, you did that, bro.
It tells a story of where we came from. Like, not, and I don't want to front like, I didn't come from a bad situation, but like when I started buying sneakers, and I know this is Flex's story right now, but like when I started buying sneakers, it was like I was just starting out in the military, right? And now where I'm at now, 15, 16, 17 years later is like, it feels like I've accomplished a lot, and I feel like my sneakers are a monument to that. My bad, man. You keep telling your thing, because
no, you're right. Now that was all I say. I mean, I still don't show, like, I don't show my shoes off. I mean, if they see it, or I got like a fingerprint pad on my door, so it's not like you can.
Are you serious? That's crazy. That's dope.
Yeah, you can't just walk into my room.
That's cool.
You got a fingerprint pad, bro? Like Kim Possible?
Yeah, it's my thumb. You gotta cut my thumb. You gotta cut my thumb off to get over here. So, but
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's impressive.
I guess, but I still because it still feels a little. Like you said, it's because your collection is personal. So you're getting very personal when you're showing this. It's just like, ooh, you're in my personal space, because I also treat this like my creative space. Like, this is where I kind of get away and, vent and, just chill out sometimes. So, that's a lot that goes on.
Speaking of person, like the collection being personal, that's one thing I like about you, Joe, is that your sneaker collection is very much personal to you. If you don't like a sneaker that everybody else likes, you're going to say, I don't like that sneaker. If you like it, good on you, but that's not a sneaker for you, right?
Right.
If you buy a sneaker and you get it in hand and it's not what you expected it to be, you will say, I'm probably going to return these. Here's the review. Not for me, right? And I love that. Like, that's one of my favorite things about you, because I started getting away from sneaker YouTube. And did you ever watch sneaker YouTube? Was that something you were into at all?
Me? No.
No. I started getting away from that because they just started buying whatever was hot, right? And then do a review on it. And my
that's happening now. That's what goes on now. It's kind of frustrating, but go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. And like how you said that you were only going to make videos on the shoes in your collection. Yeah, I had that exact same. That was my rule too. I'm only going to make videos about sneakers that I own.
Exactly.
Right, and because I thought that was more interesting than just this is the shoe that's coming out this week, and I don't like it, but they're going to be on Adidas, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted people to see that this is my collection, and I really like that you do the same thing.
Yeah, there's only a couple videos I did where one was on the Kobe. I'm not a big Kobe Nike guy, but my buddy won the Mambasita, and I love that sneaker, and I want that sneaker, but it goes for too much money. I'm not going to pay for it. I can buy it, but I'm not going to do it. I don't think these shoes are worth that kind of money. I just do not think that. And I did a video on that, and I think another one that he got, but they were shoes, only a couple videos. They weren't mine, but I did like the sneaker, and I would love to own them, but I don't have them. But for the most part, everything you see is my personal stuff, and I don't care if it's hyped or not. I like some hyped things, but my taste really sticks with more of what people like to call bricks. That's just me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I stay true to that, and I always will, just because everybody loves the new. Like I said, I got that new Travis Scott, that brown one. It's an absolute piece of crap. I think that thing is garbage. And I don't like to call sneakers garbage, but it's a horrible sneaker to me. I mean,
what's it called? The field.
No, not the field jack. It's the Jordan 1 low, that brown.
The Jordan 1. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. The field jack, I mean, it looks good, but I'm going to tell you something right now, and this is what gets me with the sneaker community. If that field jack did not, and you guys know I'm telling the truth,
absolutely.
If it did not have Travis Scott on there, that thing would be on the Nike website. You can get it in every size known to man, and it'd probably make it to the clearance rack.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree.
Same day.
And I'm sorry about that. Anybody that sees that and sees this and I'm offending you, I apologize, but I just think that's the truth.
Hey, we don't apologize on this podcast. we say what we want, man. We say what we want, and then we
you
just
say what you mean, and you mean what you say.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it.
I like it.
I like to throw that disclaimer out there, the apology disclaimer.
Yeah, because then they can't criticize you, right?
I mean, I try to cut it off. So, I mean, that's what I try to do to cut that off.
For sure. So look, I'm excited, Flex.
Go ahead.
Let's get into. Well, no, that's not how we do things around here. So I want to go last. So let's get into our showcase sneakers.
We'll let Joe go first.
Joe, show us your showcase sneaker, bro.
Okay, so the showcase sneaker is. Go ahead and explain what the showcase sneaker is. Just something that. Go ahead.
So it's any sneaker in your collection that you just feel like showing off to the audience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, got you. So I picked this one out. So I own over 400 sneakers, okay?
Yep.
This one right here, and this is why I'm true to my sneakers and sneakers in general.
Yeah.
This one, everybody loves it. They love the sneaker, but, it's not worth, $120,000, which no shoe is, by the way.
Right.
Right. But it has a ton of meaning for me, a ton of memory. This is the sneaker that got me the colorway. The Jordan 6, all white and maroon, got me collecting in 1991, and it is my favorite sneaker in my collection. This is it. It has a lot of history for me, a lot of memory and meaning, and that is a grail to me. Memory and meaning is a grail to me. This sneaker right here reminds me, I don't want to get into it, it just reminds me of the days that I did not have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. And
I feel that.
This is the one, right? And I'm getting chills talking about it. I don't like talking about my past, but I'd been through some shit myself and put myself through some things. All my fault. I blame nobody and never have. And this sneaker just reminds me of that. There's also another one, the Bo Jackson, the Auburn University colorway, the all white, orange, and purple. That one right there. I was going to bring that one in, but I wanted to show you guys this one. So it's this one for me, just for those reasons. It's the same reason why I have a bicycle. I have a Cannondale bicycle. I've bought and sold many, many bicycles. As you guys know, I'm a bicycle addict as well. I have many of those. There is a 1992 Cannondale M700 hanging up in my garage. I will never, ever sell that bike in my life. I need to see that thing hanging in my garage every day because when I look at that bike, it reminds me of where I never, ever want to be again.
Man,
so I have to have that.
I love that. I love that. Do you mind if I tell a story about that Maroon 6?
Go.
So that Maroon 6, is that the 2015 release?
This is the 15 release, yes. And by the way, I got this from a guy, a reseller, and he watched my stuff, he knew who I was, and he knows what the shoe means to me. He sold it to me for cost.
I love that. So I got out of the military in 2015, and I had a career, and then October 7th, 2015, I was unemployed, and that was the first sneaker that I purchased after leaving the military, and it felt good to feel like, okay, I have money now that I can spend on something frivolous. Like I'm not, like everything's going to be okay. Like that was the feeling that I had. Cause I mean, it's scary. It was scary getting out of the military. I tell people all the time, like it was I was more scared to get out of the military than I was going into the military.
Right.
And I purchased that shoe in November of 2015. I had been out for a month, and it felt like, okay, like I've got a little bit of money I can spend on sneakers, like things are going to be fine. So that I'm happy you brought that sneaker, because that one also means a lot to me as well.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome. And I don't know if I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned it when I was talking about this, but my girlfriend at the time, that is now my wife, bought me the sneaker in '91. So that's another reason. Yeah. That's another reason why it means a lot to me. So
yeah. From Mooresville, those Mooresville, Indiana girls, man, something else. Isn't that what you said she's from?
My wife?
Yeah.
No, actually, she's from just right the other town over. She was born and raised in Dunedin, Florida.
Man, who do you know from Mooresville? Isn't that where her family's from?
Oh, she does have family in. Yes, she does. Yes,
man. That was almost was almost.
She used to go there for family reunions.
I got you.
She used to go there for family reunions. So yeah, you're good. Yes.
Oh man, we almost cut that out. We would have had to cut that out.
No, but again, I think that's one of those reasons why I gravitated towards you, Joe, is because of those authentic and personal stories. You talk about your M700. That's how I feel about my collection. You know, I look at my collection and I think back to where I was maybe 1 or 2 pairs a year, you know, barely. And now, you know, I'm beyond that. It just shows, you know, I put my head down and I never looked up. You know, and even though I hope it would never get to this point, God forbid, but I know when I'm sitting in this room, I never go broke. You know, I never. It's like a safety net, you know, because I know if it ever gets to that point, all these shoes are gone, you know, and I have no problem with that if that means taking care of my family. But
absolutely, man. Priorities, man.
I appreciate those. I appreciate those stories, man.
That's how I feel about my. It's not so much my shoes. I honestly, guys, I love my sneakers. I really do. But at the end of the day, I don't care if something happened. I think you guys may have heard me tell this story. I have literally had dreams, waking up thinking that somebody came into my garage and wiped my bikes out and took all my bicycles. That has happened to me many times. I've woke up and freaking out thinking my bikes were gone, and those things right there, I can never get the money out that I put into them. But the meaning that those bikes have to me is more so than my shoes or anything else, man. I've never dreamt one time about these sneakers. I love them, but if they disappeared tomorrow, I would be upset, but I would get over it pretty quick. Honestly, I would. And my Legos are actually my investment. Not the sneakers so much. Sneakers are just something I put on my feet that I love to look at. I love sneakers, don't get me wrong, but
of course,
my value is in the Lego collection, and the bikes are what really means the most to me, man. And I swear I've woken up many times thinking somebody came in and stole them, and just freaking out because I can't replace those. I can replace everything else. Everything behind me I can get tomorrow. It's just going to cost me money. That's it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I like that.
All right, Flex, what you got?
I'm gonna get into my my showcase. I like to show something before I show it, but these was part of the Area 72 rollout, which I thought was neat. It came with like a newspaper from the Swiss Sentinel, and it's pretty much just stories and about Area 72.
The Swoosh Sentinel?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Okay.
These are the Area 72 Nike Blazers.
There we go, some Blazers. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I love the Blazers. Air Max Plus, and then the Blazers are definitely my top Nike silhouettes. And I just love this one, man.
That's a good looking shoe, man. Let me see that outsole. Let me see the outsole.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good looking sneaker right there, man.
Area 72. And I love the swoosh on them, man. That kind of that
crackle.
Volcano. Like, I love the shoe, and it was part of the asteroid. The asteroids were part of this pack too, but
I would own that one, man. That thing's beautiful. That shoe right there is my style of sneaker right there.
Yeah, those are beautiful, man. Those are awesome. I remember, was it last episode or 2 episodes ago where you had the asteroid foam posits, and I was like, nah, that wasn't part of the Area 7.
I knew it.
I wish Nike was still doing, and I guess they're or Jordan's doing it now with like the whole band rollout, but like, I wish that they would go back to those themes, like Big
Bang Theory and all that.
Well, like the big like rollouts and big themes for their collections. Because I think one of the things that makes Nike so legendary is their marketing. Right? Like shoes are cool, great. But the marketing is one of the things that makes Nike so cool.
The greatest marketing campaign for Nike, I think, is the Little Penny.
Yes, that's Tyra Banks, fool.
Dude, that I used to have, and I wish I still had them. I sold them. I had Little Penny dolls. I had everything, man. I used to have so much stuff, man. I wish I still had it to show everybody, and I just don't.
Yeah, Little Penny was awesome.
That was the greatest marketing campaign ever.
Oh yeah,
and then the bow nose was really good too.
Yeah, so one from like that I remember when I was probably in high school, middle school was the Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, like the puppets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like it was that was the big one from this was probably around mid 2000s. But it was puppets, and it was there was a Kobe one and there was a LeBron one.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. Okay, so what I have. This is the James Harden Volume 9 sneaker. So they just released. I got them on the Adidas website probably an hour or so after they released.
Okay.
But this is the Adidas James Harden Volume 9 sneaker. I was a big fan of the Volume 8s. I talked about those a lot. But I love how this sneaker looks. Now, I do have a criticism of the sneaker that it creases really, really easily. I wore them. So I wore them on court. I wore them on the tennis court to teach in. Yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday. And I got this pretty big crease in it. But and it's permanent. It's staying in there. But I think that if with how it looks, like it's not super noticeable, like when it's on foot. But
do you think that would have happened if you were wearing them casual? I mean, if you're playing tennis in those, man, you're really working that sneaker.
So I wasn't playing in these. I wasn't playing in them.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just walking around and coaching. So this was essentially wearing them casually.
Ouch.
So one thing that I think is maybe because I'm gonna get another colorway of these. So maybe I go down a half size, maybe I go down a full size, just to kind of have my foot kind of fill out the shoe more. But with that being said, like I think it's a great sneaker. I think that Adidas has really outdone themselves with these sneaker models. Their basketball collection is just incredible right now. So this is what my showcase shoe is. This is the sole. I mean, the traction is great. They have boost in them. They're very comfortable. I love the sock liner. It's the same sock liner as the Volume 8. It just looks really, really cool.
Yeah, that is a cool shoe. What is that upper made of? What material is that to make it crease like that? It's not a leather, of course, but
no, it's
what is
it's. I mean, the closest thing I could really describe it as is plastic, but it's not plastic. It's somewhere between like plastic and patent leather.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That is a good looking sneaker though, man. Up back on that mantle there, man. It looks good. Really, really good. Yeah, it's cool, man.
Well, the crease is on the other side. So when I have it on this side, it looks good.
Yeah. That's crazy. That is a big ass crease, and being silver, it really stands out.
Yeah,
Man.
it definitely stands out. So the next pair I'll get will probably be a size 10 rather than a size 11.
So what size do you wear normally? What's your size?
10.5 is my go-to.
Okay.
If it's like a Jordan, like a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 3, I would do a 10.5. But I'll usually go 11.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed on Adidas like that, I have to go up half size.
Yeah. Like, you don't have any Yeezys, right?
I have a 700 V3 Azale, and I went up a half size there.
Okay.
Because I was told, everybody said, you need to go up half size, Joe. You need to go up half size.
Yeah. A lot of Yeezys, you got to go up a half size for sure. Yep. But with that one, I feel like I need to go down a half size.
Okay.
just to prevent the creasing. Creasing. But then I don't think I'll be able to wear them all day to teach tennis in.
You got to be tight. We probably have to get Crease Beast to send us something over. But
hey.
But Joe, we appreciate you taking time out your day to sit down and talk sneakers and more with us. Any closing remarks?
For me, honestly, man, let me ask you guys a question. Like, Flex, when did you get into sneakers? What got you into sneakers, man?
Man, what really got me into sneakers was really my brother. And the thing was, my brother really wasn't into sneakers. He was just more into looking good. So like he would put on the freshest pair of kicks and the high dollar pants and the nice shirts and stuff. And at that time, Coogee was a thing. So he would have on like these white Forces, high top. He had 10 different versions of Forces. He had the Fusions. And it was just a simple fact that like how he carried himself. I mean, this guy would earn his boxers. He would earn his boxers, then earn his pants, put a
iron. He's saying iron.
I know what he's saying.
Yeah. Look,
I didn't know what
Joe is from Florida. Joe is from Florida. He understands.
That's for the listeners, because I didn't get it at first either. I was like, he had to earn his boxers. What's that? All right, go ahead. My bad.
So yeah, I mean, just watching him, man, and that's where I really got my love from sneakers. And then I just realized, like, from that, really was just like my love for sneakers. Just looking down at the feet, like, what are those? I would love to have a pair of those. And as I got older, I just kept on getting into it. And
how
then
old
once
were
I got
you then with that mindset? How old?
I had to be pretty young because my brother, he went to prison for like 10 years when I was like 13. So I was pretty young. I was probably like 8, 7. Yeah. So
how much older is he than you?
My brother he's got me about like 15 years. Yeah, he's got me like 15 years.
Oh, holy cow. Wow. Okay, gotcha.
I'm the youngest.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. And then
of how many?
3.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm the youngest too, man.
Yeah, I'm the baby boy. So, I watched everybody else grow up, and the thing about it is, I know a lot of people tell stories about passing down their sneakers. I couldn't because my brother wore like a size 12. So like, I never got to a size 12, so it was never like that. But funny story though, because I wanted to wear his shoes so bad. So when he went to prison, I actually used to wear his shoes to school. Now imagine me with a 9.5 with a 12 shoe on. Forces.
Oh yeah.
Just imagine, just
clown shoes.
Just imagine how that looked. But yeah, that's just how that was just my love for sneakers and just the need to want to, I guess, look nice. So, but yeah, that was that's where it all started. At I got
that's cool.
I give it to him. Yeah.
All right, Morgan? So it was your brother. Your brother was the influencer there.
Yeah, influence for a lot.
How about you, Morgan?
with me, I mean, my story is like, like most people, maybe just going into, Finish Line is headquartered out of Indianapolis. So we've got finish lines we had finish lines all over the place. And just going in there and just like looking at all the different sneakers, and then being at high school and being in middle school and people talking about the sneakers. And then getting the East Bay magazines and looking through that. And then at the same time, like what were the athletes wearing? What was, I had some Jermaine O'Neal shocks, right? Because I was a big Jermaine O'Neal fan. My younger cousin wore a bigger size than me, and he passed me down some T-Max. And it was just like all of that put together. Getting my first check from the car wash, my car wash job, and like
there you go,
spending it on a pair of Air Max 90s. And then my next check, spending it on a pair of Air Force Ones. And then, just like...
How old were you?
Probably 15, 16.
There you go.
I had to be 16 because I was driving. I had to be 16, yeah. So, it was a great time. I mean, my first checks in the military, like when I was out of basic training, when I was out of boot camp, I bought sneakers. We were up in Great Lakes, Illinois, which was about a 40-minute train ride from Chicago, and just going down to the Nike Town or the House of Hoops and just buying sneakers. It was anytime I got birthday money, I'm buying sneakers. Yeah. So no rhyme or reason. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I always like to know when and how people got into sneakers. I'm going to start doing that more too. I am now on Instagram. I never did Instagram in my life, but they make it easy to do videos, and I don't know what's going to happen, nor do I care, but I think I'm going to just do all kinds of different things. And when I go to shoe events or anything, I'm just going to start asking people questions and throw it up there. And I'm a guy that I like to talk to people, as you can tell. I like to know things about people. I like to, know kind of personal stuff. I like to know people's story, from when they were, little and how their childhood was and about their family and brothers and sisters. I'm just a guy that I like that kind of stuff. Yeah. I like to talk. As you guys know, and I'm sorry about that, but
no, it's all good. It was all good. It shows us. I mean, it just shows how different we all are, but at the same time, like we're all the same.
Sneakers is what
we're all the same, man. Right? Like
yeah, and that's what it is. That's the one thing I love about going to sneaker events. I'll look around. There's so many different races, creeds, colors, ethnicity, everything. But they're all there for love of one thing and different ages. And I'm always the oldest guy there, but that's okay. But we're all there for the same thing, man. And that's the love of sneakers, man. And that's what to me is super cool, man. I love that.
Absolutely.
What is your name on Instagram?
It's the AngryJoe. It's the AngryJoe.
That's it.
Yeah, we gotta add that.
Yeah, I gotta add that right.
I have just a few videos up there right now. I just started it ever since the TikTok banned. I talked to a couple real like influencers that do this for a living, guys that I know. And there you go. Flex just hit me with a follow. It just came up. And
as soon as we get off, I got you. Don't I don't want to sound like I'm hating. Man. I don't want the listeners to think I'm hating.
No, and here's another thing, as you guys know, I never will ask anybody to follow me.
That is true.
Personally, this is me personally. If I have to ask you to follow me, and I know people do that, and I understand that everybody does it. Me personally, if I have to ask, that means I'm not worth it, and don't follow me at that point. And I've always been that way.
Yeah,
but man,
you said that in your lives. You say that in your lives for sure.
Yeah, I do, and I mean that. But it's really cool. I love the sneaker community, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just started the Instagram, like I said. So there's only a few videos up there, but there's a lot of off the wall things that I'm just going to do. I mean, there are things that I just want to do that have nothing to do with sneakers. It may bore people. I don't know, and I'm just going to do it.
Yeah,
I'm just going to be me, man.
I love that. I love that.
And I feel like it'll work out. Because I remember I was seeing your videos on Instagram, and I would try to send them to you whenever I could. When I would like, he's not even on Instagram to get the credit for the video.
Yeah, how are you seeing them on Instagram now? How does that work?
Because people can download your videos from TikTok, or they can just screen record it and just put it on Instagram. I mean, it's just
Yeah,
literally.
I had a guy at a gym come up to me and said, "Hey, man, you on YouTube?" And I'm like, "No, I'm on TikTok." He goes, "Man, I saw your video on this," and he explained. He goes, "It
Mm-hmm,
was on YouTube." I'm like, "YouTube?" He
mm-hmm,
goes, "Yeah, YouTube Shorts." I go, "Well, I don't know, man. I'm not on YouTube." I go, "But hey, thanks for checking it out."
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the video. It was the video of you showing your photos off of your closet. I think there's a picture of you on like a boardwalk. You talk about your sixes and the infrared sixes. But yeah, it's on there. I'm gonna try to
Yeah.
find it for you. I'm gonna try to find
Hey,
it for you.
that
But
you brought up that video about the that back in '95 and being on the boardwalk and
mhm.
everything like that. That video right there was my wife's idea, and I thought she was crazy. She goes, "You should do a video on showing the pictures of your room back in the day." And I'm like, "Who's going
Nah,
to want to see that?" And then
everybody,
once I put that up
everybody.
there, I mean, that thing went crazy. When I did that video and put it on
Hmm.
TikTok, I couldn't keep up with the comments. It was going so fast. And
I
I
can,
told
Yeah.
my wife, I go, "Look I go, I don't know what's going on here."
I
And
can,
it was crazy.
I can promise you, you put that video on Instagram instantly. It's gonna go up just like it did on TikTok. It's gonna go up. You're gonna have Bleacher Report kicks and nice kicks and sneaker news all in one. Hey, can we use this video? Hey, can we use
So
this video?
you think I should throw that on Instagram, that same
Oh
Absolutely,
yeah.
video? Or
Yeah,
absolutely.
maybe
for
I
sure.
should do a new one? Because I have other pictures too. I mean, that
Oh
was
yeah,
just
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
something
Yeah.
I
You
had
need
to
to do
do
that.
that quick because that was when I could only do 1 minute videos. That's why it's so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Nah, definitely do that. And now that I'm following you, man, I'll put it on my story and put it on the Soul Brothers podcast story. All
Yeah.
love.
That was my wife's idea,
Yeah.
man. That was crazy.
That's a
But
great
hey,
idea.
man, I don't know. I don't know. That's when my account started taking off though, right after that video.
Yep, yep. That's definitely when
Lot
I
of
seen it.
respect, a ton of
That's
respect from
yep.
people, and it was kind of freaking me out a little bit. It was really cool, because like I said, I came on trying to do it as a joke and being a jerk, but I don't like to think of myself as a kind of a jerk guy. I try to get along
Nah,
with
you're
everybody
not.
and being cool with everybody as I possibly can. So that's when I kind of took it a
Yeah.
little serious, and it just ended up being what it did, man. And here we are today, and it's truly an honor to be here with you guys, man. It really is.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you, man. We appreciate you hopping on here. We
yeah,
definitely do.
yeah,
Anytime
yeah,
at all, man. Anytime you guys need anything, man.
Yeah.
You guys know how to get a hold of me. No problem at all,
Absolutely.
guys. No
I like
problem.
it.
Absolutely.
I like it. Definitely. We're glad that I didn't know you had Instagram, but we'll definitely be seeing you
Just
cover
started
art
though,
and
man.
okay, okay,
Just started. I mean, just when the TikTok ban started, like I said, I
yeah,
talked to a couple content creators. They made me see things a little different because I was
yeah.
just going to shut it all down and just, basically retire from all this.
Mm-hmm.
If TikTok went away and they were like, "Look, Joe," and they were explaining things to me and
Mm-hmm.
made me see things a little different, not in any kind of financial way or anything like that. It's because I do it for the people. I'm here
Yeah, yeah,
because of the people that follow me. This is why I'm here. It's not because of
Hmm.
me. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to accomplish anything. I don't like
Yeah.
to let people down. And
yeah.
that's when they kind of said it to me. They're like, "Joe, we know why you like doing this. If
Hmm.
you shut it down, there are going to be people out there. You don't realize this." They're telling me, they're like, "Joe, you don't realize this, but there are people that actually enjoy everything about you." And I'm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit, man." I'm like, it kind of freaks me out a little bit, man.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Well,
Absolutely.
watch how your life is about to change. I'm telling you, everybody that goes in it with like, I'm just doing this for fun. Next thing you know, they're just all over
Yeah.
Nike, over here, up half a million followers. It just how it happens.
And I don't care about any of that. I just
No,
care about the people. That's it. I don't
no,
care about anything like that, man.
mm-hmm,
And
yeah,
you brought up Bleacher Report, ESPN.
mm-hmm,
Hmm.
Those guys right
yeah,
there. I was at work one day, man. We had a company picnic, and this guy came up to me and he goes, "Joe," he goes, "Your video's on ESPN Bleacher Report." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "That video of Evil Knievel jumping the shoes."
oh
He goes,
yeah,
"That thing
yep,
has He goes, dude, that thing's got over 4 million views. And that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And,
I remember that one too.
And then the creator of that toy uses me on their ad as well. I mean, they give me props for it. Yes. If you go to the people that made that toy, my video is on there. They use it. And that's one
awesome,
thing that sucks. Well, it is, but it's the one thing that sucks about when you hit the yes, I agree button when you do these things. You are giving away everything you're doing, which is fine. I don't care. I never got into this for any financial reason or any kind of notoriety. So I honestly don't care. I'm okay. I'll be fine in my life.
For sure. But man, we appreciate you. We appreciate you hopping on here. This has been a great episode. It's been a long time coming. I don't think this is the last time we'll be seeing you on here for sure.
Absolutely not.
Any like I said, guys, anytime at all, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm here for you, man. I love you guys. I really do. I appreciate both of you. And Flex, man, you know, dude, you and I have had conversations, so. It's all love, man. It really is. Yeah, absolutely, man. And sorry to anybody out there watching. Sorry for being long-winded, but that's kind of what I do. So I apologize if it was a little boring at times. So
that's exactly. Yeah, that's what so you get to talk as much as you want.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what I told Morgan when we gotta have Joe on, man. The stories he can tell, the knowledge. And
I could keep going, dude. I could just keep freaking going, especially about those. And I'm going to tell you that I have to get this off my chest about the Jordan 11. I need to let everybody know this. I went in and got that sneaker the day it released, and it was at Sports Unlimited. I went in and bought 2 pair of 9.5 and left. There was nobody there. Nobody.
Wow.
So it wasn't like it is today, and that's what I try to tell people. It was not like it is today, man. I walked right in there, 2 pair left, no big deal. You can't get 2 pair of anything now.
No, they won't even let you.
Hell no.
They won't let you.
Oh yeah, you can't even buy it. They can't.
No, dude, you go in there and try and get a 2 pair of a hot sneaker, they'll probably arrest you.
Yeah.
Kick you out,
laugh you out the building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, you can only get a men's size, a women's size, and a great size.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Well, but anytime, guys. Anytime you guys need anything at all, get a hold of me, man. And I'd love to do it again. I have all kinds of stories to tell, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm 58 years old, dude. I've look, man. I've been around a little bit, man. So
it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so you we definitely gonna be another episode. We always bring great guests back like yourself.
And it doesn't have to be about sneakers either, man. You guys have anything else you want to know? Hey, man, I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide. So,
hey, we're gonna hold you to that. We're gonna hold you to that.
Well,
absolutely.
There may be a couple doors that I won't open, but for the most part, no, we're good. We're good, man.
All good.
But as I always say, guys, love, peace, and sneakers.
Absolutely.
Peace.
So, brothers. So, brothers. Retro 7s, retro 3s, metallic 7, retro 11, sitting on freeze. They got so